And now we're down to the brass tacks. Why I left Schneider. I can think of a half a dozen reasons to tell you, but the primary reason I left Schneider is because I was unable to go where I wanted to, when I wanted to. You're going to go where Schneider allows you to go, and there are a bunch of places that Schneider won't allow you to go, or they make it very difficult for you to go there, and I'll explain that in detail. While it's true Schneider has a lot of good paying freight, they have a lot of freight if you want to stay within their boxes and everything. But if you want to go outside those boxes, the rates drop sharply off. If you want to run east to west or west to east, you have to be very strategic. Here's just one place that you'll have trouble getting to unless you're a team. Otherwise, you'll just have to be very strategic, as I said. In all likelihood, you'll probably never see Sacramento or even Los Angeles unless you really want to go there. And if you want to go there, you're really going to have to be on your game to get out there and get back. And if you want to run up to Seattle, like I do occasionally, you have to be even more strategic in your planning, because you're first going to visit the Phoenix area and then work your way up there. So it's going to take you a week or two to even get there. Now let's talk about El Paso. It seems like every time I found a load going to El Paso, it delivered on Friday evening, and it delivered 2 hours after any load that was on the board could be picked up, which meant waiting over the weekend to see if anything come out over Monday, or deadheading a ways off to pick up another load. So it just wasn't feasible. Now let's take the time to talk about those boxes. As you'll see, I have 2 of them numbered here, 1 and 2. That's not ranking or anything. That's just the 2 best boxes that I found to run in to make the most money. If you look up in the top right-hand corner to the northeast, there's good money up there too, if you want to stay there and if Schneider is still paying your tolls. If you're having to pay tolls, it's just out of the question. And to be honest with you, the fuel discount there should match the West Coast fuel discount, because the fuel is high in the Northeast. There's just no other way to put it. It's too high. You'll notice there is some overlap on a few boxes there, and some people may disagree on the shape of the boxes, but we're not going to split hairs here. I've just laid the boxes out to give a best definition I can. You can go out west and you can run in those boxes and make good money. Some of them are very tight, so you won't get very many miles. The rate will be reasonable by Schneider standards. I think if you're earning of $1.50 a mile, you're doing good. And now a brief explanation of the other color-coded circles and things. The green circles were loads going west. The highest paying loads were usually located in the top of Arkansas. Sometimes they paid around $2 a mile. The other 3, $1.58 a mile to go to Phoenix. Or for those of you who have to be exact, Casa Grande, Arizona. The pink colored circles are where I found the highest concentration of loads going east, usually averaging about $1.35 a mile, some as low as $1.10 a mile. It was more than ridiculous. Let's move to those red circles. Those red circles are my home. I'm a dual domicile driver. I own a house in the southeast and a house in the northwest. And as you can tell, the one in the southeast is outside the boxes. The one in the northwest is in a bad box altogether. Now let's take a look at the map of where I am now. As you'll see the large red square, that's my primary focus for running. That's where I can get the highest dollar. I exceed $2 a mile there. The black triangle, I can generally run in that triangle and hold pretty close to $2 a mile. The green triangle, well, it varies by the freight. I can go as low as $1.70 to $2.25 a mile, $2.50 sometimes. Now, once again, I've marked my homes, and well, it looks like a pink circle this time. And you can see how their loads are concentrated more within that black triangle there. Every one of those black circles is where I've made a delivery and or pickup. Most times I pick up within a few miles of where I drop. And I know there are some that are going to absolutely lose their mind at the fact that I was up in the Butte, Montana area. But I pulled a load going into there paying $2.25 a mile to the truck, deadheaded 50 miles down the road, and picked up another load that paid $1.40 a mile to the truck going down to Albuquerque, and then averaged $2 a mile down to El Paso, and then back up to Denver. And from Denver, I picked up a load going to El Paso that paid me $2.60 a mile to the truck. And it's also important to note that I could never get home in the Southeast for more than $1 and a dime a mile, as I noted in an earlier video. I'm going home this trip at $1.81. And before you get all gung-ho about moving your SFI truck to somewhere else besides Schneider, there are some things you need to consider. Number one, where are you taking it? That's going to be a big factor there. SFI will charge you a fee to move it to some companies, and some companies, they don't charge a fee. I didn't pay a fee when I moved my truck except to have the Qualcomm on installed. Now, I don't know if they do that on a case-by-case basis or by the individual on how well they've kept their payments maintained or what. You'll just have to talk to your SFI rep to find out what it will cost you to move your truck. Another thing to consider is bobtail insurance if you're moving your truck. SFI will tell you that you need bobtail insurance before you move that truck. Well, now, if you notify Schneider that you're leaving, you're going to lose your bobtail insurance. So you want to wait until you're ready to move before you tell them. Now, if you're sitting at home and you've already applied at another company, you've been accepted and everything, and they offer to ship your tags to you, generally that means you've already got your insurance covered and you'll have bobtail insurance. Again, speak with your SFI rep about that. If you spend any time listening to the backbenchers on YouTube about running the West Coast or west to east, east to west, they'll tell you straight up they don't go to the West Coast because it's the freight's too cheap coming out of there and the fuel is too high. If they haven't been there, how do they know? I can tell you from experience, you can make money running the I-5 corridor on the West Coast, but you need to try to average as close as $2 a mile as possible with Schneider, because you only get like a 40-cent discount. It's 10 cents over what they offer the Midwest and East Coast drivers. Where I am now, fueling up just outside of Seattle, I'd get $1.22 a gallon discount, whereas a Schneider driver would have to pay full prompt price plus a $3 swipe charge. So you can see the savings there, $1.22 a gallon. So we sit here and we can argue and split hairs about the extra fees that a company charges you for your Qualcomm, the communications. Oh, the bobtail insurance is a little bit higher, the workman's comp's a little bit higher. But if I'm saving $1.22 a gallon and I'm buying 300 gallons a week, I'll gladly pay $80 to $100 a week in additional fees to save $250 on fuel. So I'm going to just wrap it up right here. If you have any questions or anything, just leave a comment below and I'll get back with you when I can.